Hi, this is Alicia from Behind the White Picket Fence, and today I'm here to do my September wrap-up and October TBR. The first book, so before I start, I read a bunch of ebooks that I won't be able to show you the covers because I don't have that little iPhone that I usually use. I don't really know where it went. So this month it's just going to be 2 print books and then me talking about the other 4. So yeah, it's going to be a little weird and hopefully you don't mind, but I just don't have any way to show you the covers. So getting started, the first book I read was an ebook called Bonjour Chérie by Robin Thomas. Overall, I gave this book 2 stars because Beth, the main character, just kind of annoyed me a lot. She seemed really shallow. So the whole point of this book is her taking French classes so she can eventually take a trip to Paris. And she has this huge crush on her teacher, and her whole plan is to try and mooch off her teacher and get her teacher to fall in love with her so he can take her to Paris and they can have this magical time. And so she meets this guy named Zach that is kind of like this beach boy that is kind of like what she sees him as a beach bum type kind of person. And their relationship is really difficult because Beth is focusing on the teacher, and Zach is trying to get into her life and show her that she needs to move on from him for reasons I'm not going to mention because it's a little bit of a spoiler, but I don't know. This book was just not good. The writing style was okay, but another problem that I had with it was there was a lot of French dialogue that wasn't described, wasn't explained, so you would need a French to English dictionary to understand what's being said, because she's taking French classes and they're talking in French, but it's not being explained to the reader, which is a little annoying because I didn't take French in high school. I took Japanese, so yeah, even high school French, you probably wouldn't be able to understand what they were saying anyways. So yeah, that just wasn't the greatest start to the month. Then I read one of my print books, A Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. Annabeth was so annoying in this book. I understand why she has problems with Cyclops, and that she doesn't like Tyson, the new character in this book. I won't explain who it is in case you haven't seen the movie or read the book, but the fact that she was so rude. This book is for middle grade kids, and it's kind of like she was just kind of going against race. She really hated him for who he was, and nothing changed her opinion of him until the very end. But still, it just carried on way too long, and she was just so insensitive, and she really got on my nerves. Other than that, I really liked this. There's a lot more adventure in this than in the movie, which I saw before I read this. But I think we could have done with a little less of that adventure in here. It kind of just became repetitive. So yeah, it wasn't the best book that I've read, and it was not better than the first one. I think the first one was still probably the best out of the 2 that I've read. And my overall rating for this was 3 stars. Yeah. Then I read a book that I've had for review for a really long time, and it is Thy Will Be Done by Julie Fisher. On the back it mentions that it's fiction, romance, and paranormal, which is totally true. It has romance, it has paranormal elements, but the main thing with this book is it is fiction. And also, I was really beginning to like the book with the first few chapters because it started off completely different than what I expected. We start off in a different time period. Let me see. 1904 in England, and I was really liking those characters, and it just got ripped away when it started to pick up the pace into the story, into the actual story that was supposed to be happening. And so the main character of this book is Luke, and he has dreams that have haunted him his whole life, and these dreams are dreams of his past life, and there's a lot of other things that go along with that. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it, but this book is about Luke and him finding Abigail, which is his soulmate, and he finds out she's having the same dreams as him. And because I saw that it had romance on the back of the book, I was like, well, this is going to be awesome. But they didn't even meet until halfway through the book, which was a little bit irritating. And the whole way this story was resolved was a little abrupt. I think I would have liked it more if what happened in the end didn't happen. But there was a lot of suspense and a lot of weird trust issues. And overall, I gave this book 3 stars out of 5 on Goodreads. And I wrote a review for this along with Bonjour Chérie, which I'll put down below in a link in the description. But yeah, this wasn't that great. I would only recommend this book to people that really enjoy reading fiction and do like paranormal aspects in their book, and it is kind of a religious theme, but it's also really dark, so just, if you're going to read it, be prepared for that mood, and don't read it if you want this epic romance, because it's just not going to be there. But if you don't really like romance in your books, or just barely any romance, this is probably a good book for you, and I really recommend it. The rest of these books, unfortunately, are ebooks, which I won't be able to show you the covers like I said before, but we can just move through these quickly. The next one I read was, which I have notes, so that's why I keep looking down. The next one I read was Streaks of Blue by Jack Chaucer, and I rated this 4 stars on Goodreads and posted a review there too. I read this with a friend on Facebook, Natalie at One More Chapter, I think. I'll put the link down below to her page. I read this with her, and it really wasn't a book that I was expecting to like, because it was so different from what I usually read. Adam is this kid that goes to Nicole's school, which Nicole is the main character, but Adam is the main focus of the book. Adam is this kid that's just had a messed up life, and he's friends with this other kid that goes by Lee Harvey, which is kind of explained in the book if you don't understand what the name really entails. But Nicole is, in the beginning of the book, Nicole is on a trip with her friend Candace, hiking this mountain before school starts, and she plans to sleep out under the stars, but it's not really allowed, but she finds a way of doing it. And while she's sleeping out under the stars, she has this very vivid dream / waking dream where this little girl comes to her and takes her to class, and you're under the impression that this girl is a star, and she's there to warn Nicole about events that are going to happen at the school. And so basically all of this is in the description, so I'm not giving anything away. She gets a warning to befriend Adam Upton, and because he's planning to do something horrible at the end of during the school year. And in the back of the book, the description, I believe it does reveal what he's gonna do, and he is going to cause slash be part of a mass murder attempt at the school with his friend Lee Harvey. And they have this whole plan, and Nicole is constantly trying to befriend him and try and stop it from happening. And really, this book is amazing. I gave it 4 stars just because it wasn't 100% as good as I thought it would be. And it didn't have as much as what I usually like in a book. But Nicole and Adam become really close, and there's a lot of tension and a lot of action and stuff that happens, and normal day-to-day life with Nicole and Adam, and school life, and a lot of character development, which was kind of surprising for me. Candace in the beginning was this really shallow, really self-centered girl that didn't want any part in what Nicole was trying to prevent from happening. And to the point where she was hiding in the bathroom when that every day at the set time that it was going to happen. And I just really found her annoying. And I mean, that's the whole point. You're supposed to consider whether you would do the same thing in that situation. And I can't be honest about this because I don't know what I would do. And basically, this book was really awesome. I loved that Nicole was so strong and able to deal with this on her own, basically. She did have some help, and she did begin to realize that a lot of people just are very judgmental and don't really give other people the benefit of the doubt. So this story really covers a huge span of different topics, and it's very extreme, and it does mention Sadie Hook, the school that was attacked last Christmas. So that's it's a little fresh and a little soon to be talking about it, but if you are in the right mindset, it is quite an amazing story, and it really helps people to understand what is going on inside the shooter's mind as well as the victim, and it's just awesome. You should read it. Even if you think it's something you won't like, it is really amazing. And then the next book I read was Desire by Marina Anderson, which I rated 2 stars because it was just, oh my god. So it was 35 pages long, so it was a novella. And basically it's Grace getting introduced into her boyfriend Adam's secret sex life. And he has been with Grace for this long period of time. And he is finally ready to introduce her into his like BDSM type sexual experiences at this dining club thing. And the main problem I had with this was there was no point to this story. All the character does is she goes to the dining club and finds that she has to pass these tests to become his real partner and get to be involved with that sexual life. And that's really all that happens. And I was like, at least you could have involved the first test in this book. I mean, there's 7 tests, I think, or something along that line, or 5 tests or something, and the author's spreading it out into too many books. I think it should be the first test in the first book, so it kind of has more of a connected feel to the story, but it just didn't, and this book was really disappointing. Yeah. The last book I read this month, which brings my total to 6 books, was Reckless Longing by Gina Robinson. And I rated this 3 stars, mainly because the first half of the book was okay. It just flowed slowly, the characters didn't do much, but by the last 3rd to 4th of the novel, things really picked up. The story progressed quickly. Ellie and Logan had secrets revealed, and that was like the main thing of this book. Each character had secrets, and they all all the secrets had something to do with the story, from keeping them from being together, and it was a little annoying to be the reader and not know the secrets. It was kind of a weird take on that, but having the last fourth of the book really speed up and have the characters develop a lot more and the secrets be revealed, I really found that the book was really good, and it brought it up from okay to really good. And I would recommend it to other people. This is the first book of a trilogy, and I do plan to read the second one because the way the first one ended was really good, and I can't wait to read the second one. I mean, I'm now prepared for what the second one will be like because I've read the first one. I'm used to the writer's writing style, so yeah. Those are the books I read in September, and hopefully this wasn't too long of a video. Hopefully you didn't get bored in the middle, but the books I'm reading right now basically consist of an ebook, which is Between Friends by Thurston Pierce, and that is a short menage erotic romance. And then I'm still reading Touched by an Alien by Gina Koch, and I'm 125 pages in. And then I'm still reading City of Bones, and I haven't made it much further. Actually, probably not at all. I'm on page 94. And hopefully I'll get further in this month, but I'm not entirely sure. And then I have 20 pages left of Janet Daly's Merry Christmas Cowboy. This is basically a sweet romance, and it's a little too sweet for my taste. I think there should be more of a romance, but it's a good Christmas story, and I can't wait to see how it ends. Other than these three books, I have some Christmas books up on my shelf to read for this month. I haven't really chosen what ones I want to read, so I won't show you any, but hopefully I'll get some of those in there too. So yeah, that was my September wrap-up and October TBR. I hope you enjoyed it, and I apologize for the no covers thing, because I mean, I like to see covers when someone else is reviewing, but this time I just didn't have it, and hopefully I'll be able to do it next time. So yeah, thank you for watching. Happy reading. Bye!